What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of the Backstage Slam Wrestling Podcast. This is episode number 204. And I don't know if you guys can hear that loud noise right outside my window, but there is a lawnmower and a couple of weed whackers going off behind me. And I'm joined today by Joshua, who is running on an internet that is similar to the old school dial up 50k kilobits per second internet connection through his cell phone. Hello, Josh. That's exactly how it sounds too. Very, very
Kids
impressive.
won't understand the joy that annoying sound brought to one's life.
It's like, Mom, is that the emergency broadcast system? Nope, that's just the DSL. I just
No,
turned it on.
It's the future. What's up, Ben?
Not much. Not much. Other than a pretty painful week still with my back. I'd say my back is at like 65, 70%. Much better than it was last week. I have watched a lot of Korean variety TV shows to help pass the time over, as watch a lot of anime and some wrestling. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure if there was going to be a podcast today, but here we are on your limited broadband connection. And I actually did record the podcast solo earlier today, but the quality came out crappy. So I'm glad we got a
So if you're
do-over.
gonna do something crappy, you might as well have your partner attached to it too, right?
That's what she said. How's
Oh well,
how's your week?
here we are, a wrestling podcast, and what a week in wrestling it was. I just wish I watched any of it because I didn't.
Right?
I didn't even watch AEW. I was just like,
Oh, you missed it.
I have no internet.
You missed it.
That's what it boiled down to. I tried to keep up as best I could, on Twitter, but
Hmm.
I remember Monday. What was it? Monday night, and I sent you a message. Oh,
Yeah.
and my internet was running Monday night. I didn't watch Raw. I sent you a message, and I'm like, did Shane McMahon start Fight Club or something? Because I keep seeing these images, and it's really weird.
He sure did.
There's a Fight Club in WWE. How about that?
Were you able to see the voice chat on this not the text chat on Discord about the Wednesday night ratings?
Yeah.
So as soon as you're able to, this past Wednesday's Dynamite was and is a must see. I am so happy to see that it went over 900K for the first time since the pandemic hit, Josh. It was not gonna lie, I had a feeling the rumor or the leak that Bischoff was gonna be on TNT again had something to do with it, but the build up, the way that they've been uh, teasing that Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho that they're gonna have a massive match uh, this Wednesday. I believe it's the main event. And you know, Chris Jericho has hardly lost one-on-one matches since being on AEW, and
Right.
you know, if Orange Cassidy can get a big win over Chris Jericho, that'll be huge, huge for Orange Cassidy.
It would be
Um,
gigantic.
yeah, Darby Allin, uh, being in a world title match against John Moxley this past Wednesday night main event. Um, Massive put, you know, they're doing the same thing with Darby Allin again. Just another star-making moment. He never quit. Moxley, of course, retained And now it's official. They have signed the main event for All Out. It will be John Moxley defending the AEW World Title against Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Oh boy. And that's got the internet buzzing very positively. And of course, probably the biggest storyline, Josh, is the ever so often will AEW bring back the Four Horsemen? Are they doing a new Four Horsemen? We've seen it accumulate over the last couple of weeks. We got Arn Anderson talking to FTR. We got Tully Blanchard talking to FTR now. And of course, Cody being affiliated with Arn Anderson. And now here's the thing: who's going to end up joining this Four Horsemen if they do go that route? Is it going to be Hangman Page, which looks like he is the favorite too, or is it Kenny Omega? Will Kenny Omega betray the elite, and end up going to form the new Four Horsemen with Cody Rhodes and F- FTR? It's getting to a full head. And this coming Wednesday, Josh, is Tag Team Wrestling Appreciation Night. So there's a lot of high caliber, ranked tag team matches that are up for this Wednesday's Dynamite, as well as the main event of Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. And I think they haven't said this, but I do believe the winner of this match uh, should challenge for Cody's TNT title down the line. But it has now been confirmed since Dynamite aired that the next challenger for the TNT title is the king of AEW Dark, Scorpio Sky, who currently has the most wins in AEW with almost 30 total victories.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
Wow. I mean, first of all, I didn't know Scorpio Sky was on such a roll.
Yeah, he's
Um,
been the most featured wrestler. He's been on almost every single AEW Dark episode. And here's the thing: the top three guys who have more than 25 overall wins in AEW is Scorpio Sky, um Kenny Omega, and Scorpio Sky, Kenny Omega, and I believe John Moxley.
huh. No, I want to. I
Oh,
mean, don't
excuse
get me
me,
wrong.
Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Kenny
Um,
Omega, Cody Rhodes, and Scorpio Sky. My bad.
yeah, I think Scorpio Sky would make an excellent challenger for the TNT title. What I want to address, though, is you were talking about, who, if Cody and FTR get together and, you know, become 3/4 of a new Four Horsemen. By the way, can they use that name, or is that another WWE property?
I have no clue. I have
I
no
mean, it
clue.
would be great if they could use the name. I don't think there's going to be any problem with using the hand symbol, but
Maybe, maybe they can do the Horsemen of the Apocalypse or something.
something like that. Um, what I would like to see, though, nothing against Hangman Page, because I think he's a tremendous talent, but
Hmm. I mean, not to mention that we also got Sean Spears. So I believe it's Sean Spears, FTR are the guaranteed three, and then it's either Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, or Cody might be the fourth.
as much as I would love to think Sean Spears is anywhere near that level of even being in a stable like that, um, I don't know, man.
Unless Tully kicks him to the curb, but Sean Spears has been undefeated since he got partnered with Tully, or maybe he has one loss technically. But since he has donned the glove
Mm-hmm.
and has that knockout punch finisher where, you know, there's like a steel part to his glove or whatever, he's been undefeated. And on this past Wednesday on Dynamite, he was there for the FTR tag team match, and FTR went up to him, and all three guys did a little head nod, as in, "All right, yeah, we're cool."
Okay.
So,
Okay. So let's
you know,
let's buy into that. Sean Spears is if FTR is 1 and 2, Sean Spears is number 3. Uh, out of Cody, Hangman, and Kenny, I I don't want it to be Hangman. Nothing like again, nothing against him. Love the guy,
hmm
but I think it would be more imperative to his storyline and his character development if it teases and teases that he's, jumping on board, and when it's time, he's in the ring with Cody or Kenny, and Sean Spears and FTR come down and hold up whatever symbol they're going to use for the group, and mind you, this is all very much speculation. And they kind of bypass Hangman Page. He becomes like their mortal enemy, and he finally gets to be that. He gets to take that role of the arch nemesis of this new group, and maybe he forms his own group. Who knows? But
right.
I would not mind seeing Kenny take that 4th slot. He has kind of a leadership quality that we've seen, of course, in New Japan. But I would, if I was running things, I would go with Cody because the history is there.
Except that
Multi-generational guy.
but
And
Dusty and Rick were rivals for the most part, right?
that's what would make
Which
it
would
so
be a
sweet.
twist. Yeah, that twist, like the son is now indoctrinated into the legacy of his father's biggest rival.
It's like, and Dustin, of course, would be like, Dad would be so pissed off, and Arn would come out and say, "We didn't get you, Dusty, but we got your boy,"
Mm-hmm.
and I story wise, I think that works out much better. And as far as Kenny, where I would have him is continuing his slow burn into a heel, and have the Young Bucks. They're keeping the Elite together. They're doing what they can to make sure Kenny doesn't, fall all the way into the dark side, but they're going to fail. And I would like to see, there comes a point where, it's that trigger man point. You got your victim in front of you, and you're going to do something very evil, very dastardly to him. And the Bucks are like, "No, Kenny, you can't do this. There's no coming back from this kind of deal." They're pleading with him. And Kenny's like, "I'm doing it. You're either with me or you're not." And then I'd like to see the Bucks just kind of look at each other, shrug, and then whatever poor schmuck is in between them gets a 3-way super kick to the head. And we get full-on heel boy Elite right there between Omega and the Bucks. And they do their trios running rampant over everybody in their way. Maybe Cody's like, well, we're gonna stop you. There's four of us, and you know what? I'm booking way too far in advance in my head to the point where I'm going to be disappointed if it doesn't turn out this way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to leave it there. And the only thing that I can say for absolute certainty is that you can hear it in my voice, I'm getting excited talking about AEW and the possible storylines coming out of this company. When it comes to the WWE, man, I got nothing. I'm not fantasy booking anything. I don't even know what the storylines are, and that's there was something going around about the two new factions. One is, of course, the Hurt Company, MVP Bobby Lashley and
Right.
Shelton Benjamin
Mm-hmm.
doing their thing on Monday night during the Fight Club, or I'm sorry, Raw Underground. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to Raw Underground, we'll probably have a little bit more about that in a second.
I think
But
it's coming back next week as well.
yeah, I saw that promoted that Raw Underground is coming back. But then there's what is it, Retribution?
Oh, fake Antifa.
Well,
That was actually
Antifa's
the
fake
second.
Antifa.
Yeah.
I mean, no, this isn't a political show. We do it. We
Look,
do a
if
little something
everybody on
sometimes.
the Wrestling Observer or everybody that even what's his name that's been doing WWE backstage, don't remember his name, the wrestling journalist, but they're all saying Antifa storyline.
That's stupid.
I mean,
That's absolutely stupid. There is no, group.
we're supposed to, yeah, we're supposed to be, pro wrestling is supposed to be an escape from all the bad stuff going on in real life. Personally, I feel like this angle is just glorifying what's happening in real life. You got these guys coming in with a rigged chainsaw. I don't know if this picture was real or not because I never watched it or seen any of the highlights on YouTube. But apparently, one of them spray painted AEW on one of the protective glass windshields at ringside or whatever. It could be photoshopped or whatnot. Um, but
Could be.
how okay, there was a handful of them. One of them in the picture looked like a figure of a woman. Um, but the rest of them looked like cruiserweights. Josh, I don't know about you, but not one single member of this retribution or whatever you want to call them looks physically imposing. And I'm thinking to myself, wait till I tell Josh that
Yeah.
this retribution group looks like fodder, easy fodder for either a returning Roman Reigns or a John Cena to just eat up.
You know what I thought
Because
of when I heard about it?
what'd you
I
think?
thought these guys in the ring right now are not the guys that are going to be revealed as the group.
That better be the case. Because I saw the video, the 3 minute video clip on YouTube. That was the only thing I saw from Raw or WWE this week. Besides the awesome Adam Cole and Pat McAfee angle on NXT at the very end. I don't know if you've seen that, but um, it was just
Yeah, I saw that
terrible.
clip.
Yeah, the ending to SmackDown, cutting the ring ropes and destroying property. It was just so corny. Chasing
Now,
Corey Graves from to the backstage with a baseball bat. that looked fake. By the way, it looked like a plastic baseball bat with duct tape to make it look like it wasn't fake. Oh,
One of the things that I've read, um, I want to say yesterday, was that going forward, the company is really going to loosen the reins on how much they control the talent, which of course could mean absolutely anything. Um, on the low side, it means, hey, they can tweet whatever they want, I guess. But on the side of making it a major news story would be they're allowed to appear in other companies.
hmm.
So whether it's talk about things that they normally wouldn't talk about, like, say, the word belt, it's like, okay, whatever. Oh, you really loosened the reins there. Or whether it's, I'm going to openly challenge the AEW champion to show up at SummerSlam or whatever. That would, of course, be the spectacular side of, that kind of story. And I get the feeling it would be more of the former, where it's like, oh, yeah, tweet about AEW, I don't care. Which would, of course, be... I've said it on this show so many times, WWE doesn't need to be an island unto itself. WrestleMania should be the invitational of all invitationals. And
Yeah.
that would be amazing. It would be simply amazing if they became like a wrestling Olympics, so to speak. The true biggest event of the year in terms of world. Well, I mean, it already is that, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. So
Not only the biggest, but the best, most spectacular wrestling show
it should
of the
be
year.
it should be the opening section of WrestleMania should be Sports Entertainment and Pro Wrestling presents WrestleMania. That's the way it's supposed to be.
The Royal Rumble should have at least 10 spots dedicated to people that aren't signed with the company. And sure, have them sign, like, something that says, I will not go into business for myself. Hold them monetarily responsible if they go off script or do something that they weren't supposed to. Like, I don't know, toss out the person that's supposed to win. But there is no reason in the world why the Royal Rumble can't, and I need to stress this, can't once again be an invitational to other companies. Because back in the day, yeah, it wasn't a straight, company line. There were people from other promotions that would show up and vie for the top championship in the world, as far as getting that opportunity at WrestleMania. And if it is such an opportunity, if it is such a big deal to win the Royal Rumble, why wouldn't other companies' guys be banging down the door to get that opportunity too? It only makes sense. So, yeah, they could definitely... And could you imagine if you watch Dynamite one week and they're like... And Jim Ross is like, believe it or not, folks, this is a Royal Rumble qualifying match here on AEW Dynamite. Kenny Omega is going to be taking on Orange Cassidy to find out who's going to be in the Royal Rumble, which you'll be able to watch later this month on pay-per-view or the WWE Network. I mean, the advertising that you could, get out of being, offering that slot, offering, qualifying matches to other brand shows is just beautiful. Can you imagine AEW would be like, Nah. I'm not.
I
I'm not
mean,
saying they would be like, oh, we need to accept this. I imagine they'd be like, hey, that sounds like a pretty cool idea. We'll talk about the Royal Rumble, which everybody knows about anyway. And next thing you know, their guy is at the Royal Rumble, and maybe someone hasn't heard of AEW somehow, and they're watching the Royal Rumble. And they're going to be like, who is this guy? And like, this is AEW's Orange Cassidy. See how I had him beat Kenny Omega in that qualifying match? Yeah, I would do that in real life. Because we've already seen what Orange Cassidy can do in a Battle Royale, and it is amazing. Now imagine him doing it in the Rumble as a representative of AEW. That would be awesome. See, I can't get excited about WWE without bringing up AEW. It is sad to me, but it makes me so happy to think that one day something like this could maybe happen. And if that's what loosening the reins means, I am in. I am in so hard. But if it just means, Dolph, sure, tweet at Orange Cassidy, I don't care, then please stop wasting my time, because your storylines aren't keeping my attention. And no, I am not a strictly, I only love AEW kind of mark. I like what they're doing. It gets me excited. I am the one on the show that has been constantly, and I mean constantly, trying to find the bright side of WWE for years. This is 204 episodes into this show. I have been doing it for years, standing up and championing the WWE and defending the dumbest decisions. But here they are. We are here now, and what do we have? Raw Underground. Don't get me wrong. It seems pretty different at the very least. We're getting a new look. The show has a new feel. I only wish that the whole thing was like that, because then it would almost be brilliant to get rid of the arena vibe altogether during the COVID era and the no audience era. Just having that kind of vibe, that kind of atmosphere would make Raw kind of watchable, as long as they kept that vibe. They stopped doing everything they do normally and let SmackDown become something that's like run by the inmates. Let them be crazy. Let Bray Wyatt run wild. Let Braun Strowman. No. Last time he ran wild, things got a little crazy on Twitter. So maybe somebody else. But make it different. Things are different. The world is different. And it seems like the WWE thinks doing the same thing over and over again is going to yield a different result in a different world. AEW, yeah, they're doing the arena shows, but it excites me because it's still got that new smell, and I'm still excited to see where their characters go. They spent so much time making personas for the people there that I am so interested in seeing. And WWE, nobody changes. Nobody changes. Bray
and
Wyatt is interesting because he's the only one that's had any kind of major change. Dolph Ziggler maybe changes his hair every once in a while, changes his theme music, changes, his shorts, but he's still Dolph Ziggler. Roman Reigns hasn't changed a bit since leaving the Shield, and that's always been my biggest gripe, other than he's a natural born heel and the crowd should turn him. But that's, of course, a topic we have covered ad nauseum. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on a big monologue here like I'm some supervillain. But long story short, AEW excites me right now. WWE doesn't.
Is it safe? Because I forgot everything that I was trying to add to your point on your epic rant there. I literally forgot because you just kept going. I was like, okay, I'll let him go. And it's like, oh, I forgot everything I wanted to add on to that because you brought up such good points. And you just kept going and adding more good points. And then I was just like, what was I going to say again? I forget already. Um, but yeah, speaking of AEW, this is probably the biggest news of the week. Did you hear about this on the TNT side of things? Um,
Yeah, the executive that was
mhm.
let go.
Kevin Riley, who was the president of TNT, TBS, and True TV, is now gone from Warner Media. He was released, according to the Hollywood Reporter, who broke the news first, due to major restructuring under a newly installed CEO, Jason Killar. Riley was instrumental in AEW getting getting TNT deal as well as their deal extension. Now, of course, 2 days had passed since then, and everything was up in the air. Meltzer was like super worried. I've never seen Meltzer just like be so discombobulated and cryptic in a span of 24 to 48 hours. But apparently, this afternoon, as of I guess, or should I say today, this morning, a fan asked Cody Rhodes on Twitter if AEW fans should be worried about the future of AEW since the recent shakeup, because it was brought up by Meltzer that the new runner or whoever is now in control could actually reevaluate AEW, um, and would be able to. There is a 50-50 possibility that the deal could basically dissolve, which was super scary. Now, Cody responded to this question on Twitter, and as Cody being you know co VP, he says, "No, there's nothing to be worried about. We have been blessed to have had so many viewers, even opposed. Thus, the 3+ year extension is still in effect. It's a great partnership, and we will continue to work with our new bosses over in Turner and Warner Broadcasting." So it looks like Tony, Cody, the Bucks, Kenny, I guess they had a meeting either before or leading up or during or after all of this shakeup in the leadership position over there at Turner and Warner Media. And it looks like AEW is safe. Everything that was agreed upon and signed is not being touched. So unless they have a change of mind, we can rest easily. And I was getting a little bit worried there. I mean, could you imagine a new boss just comes in and it's like WCW all over again? Yeah, we here at Turner Broadcasting, we don't find pro wrestling uh the type of content that we want to go forward with. So we're going to let the contract lapse. Bam! World Wrestling Entertainment buys them out. Wouldn't that suck?
I'm thinking, and it's been a while since we've done this, so it's time for a little backstage slam theater. Guys, I just had a meeting with the executives at TNT, and we have decided that wrestling is not going to be a part of TNT's future. I know you have a lot of questions, but rest assured, we have found a suitable owner that will take over and make the necessary changes to keep your brand successful. Come on in. And someone walks in the room. He's like, "Hello, all you second-rate losers."
Oh,
Are
I
you
was
ready to
hoping
be
you wasn't going there.
NXT?
Uh, I was hoping you would swerve like, my name is Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and I'm here to purchase All Elite Wrestling.
I can't really do a Rock impression. How about this? Please come in, sir. Oh yeah, brother. We're gonna take AEW to the top, and I'm gonna be the champion, brother. We're gonna do this, brother. Hulk Hogan is back and gonna be the AEW champion. In fact, Moxley, hand me the title now, brother. Hand me the title now. We're not even gonna be on TV. I'm just gonna show up on Wednesday, and I'm gonna be the champion, brother.
Oh boy.
No?
Oh boy.
Okay. One more. Okay. Sir, if you would please come in. I am Kane. I have bought AEW with the money from taxpayers in Knox County. I have gone back to my former persona in the voice box.
Oh man.
Now, out of those three scenarios, which one's the best?
I'd still go with The Rock.
That wasn't one of the scenarios.
I know. I would still go with The Rock.
Hey guys,
Uh,
Dwayne The Rock Johnson here. I'm sorry, I can't use that. Dwayne Johnson here. I just wanted to let you know that I think you're in good hands. I'm just here to make sure everybody gets paid. Yeah, that actually sounds about right. So if you're down with an AEW owned by Dwayne Johnson, if you can smell what I'm cooking, don't be afraid to call me and ask me any questions.
Sweet.
Right, keep
And
up with the work. And then he walks out.
is there anything else you want to talk about? Because I think that pretty much wraps it up. In fact, this is 6 minutes longer than what I had recorded earlier. When I listened back to the beginning of it and found that my sound settings aren't where they're supposed to be, and I sounded like crap. So it was a good thing I trashed the original podcast.
Yeah. Well, I know there's only really one other bit of newsy news information.
We got a pay-per-view next weekend, right?
What's that?
We got a pay-per-view predictions next weekend, right?
I believe so.
On Friday. I think it's going to be on Friday because we have Takeover on the 15th and SummerSlam on the 16th, I believe.
We're gonna have to figure out when that's going to be, because on Friday
The Wadcast.
Got the Wadcast, and we're going to have a second special guest in a row as Scott Christian Sava. I hope that's how you say his name. The writer and one of the directors for the Netflix, well, it's not an original, but for the animated feature film Animal Crackers, is coming on the show. And you can catch Animal Crackers, which, by the way, both of us wound up recommending on the Netflix. You can catch that on Netflix. We're going to be talking to him. So join us, semicorpods.com for the chat, semicorestudios.com just to listen in. If you have any questions for the writer and one of the directors of Animal Crackers, by all means, hit me up. Hit the show up. So we're going to have to figure out when to do the actual predictions. The only other newsy story was the first half of G1 News, which is, of course, when is it? Where is it? But I didn't know if that was really worth mentioning. Oh, it's going to be here on this date, when it's, I think, more newsworthy when the slots get filled. Do you think?
Yeah.
So yeah, we can cover the schedule as soon as the slots.
The schedule for New
ready
Japan,
to go.
yeah, all the New Japan stuff keeps changing and getting delayed because they had a small show for the summer bash event that they got going on right now. One of the small venues ended up having to cancel, and then they're looking for replacement stuff. So they ended up pushing that event back a week or two, and they still haven't found a venue for that. So everything is still changing. It's good to see that, even though New Japan just recently started up their wrestling and everything, and their control on COVID is way better than what's going on here in the States, that even though things happen, they are doing their best to work around all of the problems that is going on with all of the closures to businesses, as well as the state/country mandate for social distancing, or the amount of individuals allowed at a certain venue. But I think that's pretty much it. If Josh has anything else he would like to share.
Nope. I think I think I went on long enough.
Okay. You guys can follow us on Twitter at SkitComic and at YoBroMMO. If you guys would like to support us on Patreon, you guys can go ahead and support us for just for $3, $5, $10, and $20. I have now been a part of the Patreon program long enough where I get to increase the minimum amount of the lowest tier, so it's now $3 there, due to the brand new tax rates for that increase. So things are a little bit more fair for the content creators. Um, so go ahead and subscribe for a minimum of $3, 5, 10, and $20, as well as check out the brand new tiers. I will be hosting new hangouts on Discord for both voice and voice and camera calls, as well as Zoom. I have downloaded Zoom, and I have yet to find people to help me test it out. But we're going to be doing Zoom stuff, as well as Patreon exclusive content, such as watch-alongs of anime, Korean dramas, music videos. It doesn't matter what type of music. Or we can even watch movies together and hang out while having side commentary over what we are watching. So go ahead and be a part of that, as well as join the Discord. There is a link to the Discord that I will be reposting in on my Twitter at YoBroMMO. With that said, we will look forward to you guys next week's show. I think we got some pay-per-views coming up. We'll be predicting the matches and the for both cards. And with that said, from Josh, Anna, Amber, and myself, we bid you adieu and bang a kiss. Good night. Too sweet.
Too